There is a darkness that creeps into the soul, quiet, cold, and persistent. It does not scream, it whispers. It does not attack, it sinks. This many call depression. But I have learned that it is far more than a sickness of the mind. It is a summons from the soul. You see, modern man believes that suffering is something to be avoided, escaped, or silenced. He distracts himself with work, with entertainment, with the endless noise of life. But suffering, especially the kind we call depression, is not meaningless. It is a message. Depression is not always a sign that something is wrong with you. Often, it is the soul's way of withdrawing energy from the outer world so it can redirect it inward. When everything seems to lose meaning, when your passions fade, when the color drains from your world, that is often the beginning of a transformation. In many cases, depression arises when you are not living in alignment with your true self. You may be wearing a mask, what I call the persona of face you show to the world. But beneath that mask lives the self, and it longs to be heard. The more you deny who you truly are, the louder the soul will cry out. And when you ignore that cry long enough, the psyche withdraws its life energy from the outer world. You may lose interest in friends, in work, even in living. But this withdrawal is not death, it is descent. In mythology, we see this reflected in the story of the hero who journeys into the underworld. Orpheus, Persephone, Christ, even the Buddha, they all descend into darkness before returning transformed. Depression is your underworld. The problem with the modern world is that we have pathologized every form of suffering. But in ancient cultures, suffering was often seen as sacred as initiation. Depression, from this lens, is not an illness but a rite of passage. A soul in crisis, is a soul awakening. But I must warn you, this descent must not be resisted. When you suppress or distract yourself from your depression, you only prolong it. You trap it in the unconscious, and it will emerge later stronger, more chaotic. Instead, we must listen to it. Ask yourself, what is this depression trying to tell me? What part of myself have I ignored? What truth have I buried? What dream have I abandoned? Often I found that those who came to me in deep depression had spent their lives living according to the expectations of others. They were obedient, polite, responsible, but inwardly they were dying because they had never asked themselves, what do I want? Who am I beneath all these roles? To heal from depression, one must make this inward journey, not merely to medicate the symptoms, but to uncover the root, the wound, the longing, the truth. I do not claim that this journey is easy. No true transformation ever is. You may lose people along the way. You may lose old versions of yourself, but what you gain is far more valuable. Wholeness. Wholeness is not perfection. It is not being free of sadness or struggle. It is becoming all that you are: light and shadow, joy and grief, life and death. In my practice, I often encouraged patients not just to ask, how do I stop being depressed? But rather, what is my depression asking of me? What life does it want me to live? Because the soul, when denied, will darken the mind. But the soul, when heard, will light the path. So if you find yourself in the grip of depression, do not see it only as a curse. See it as a signal, a guide, a calling to become more fully yourself. Go inward, go deep, let the darkness teach you. Only then can you truly rise.